Welcome back, everybody. Rudy with Groovy Cycle Works here, bringing you another video. Today we want to talk about making repairs. It's something that's not pleasurable. I hate to hear when I get a phone call and an email that something is broken, but you know what? If you've been in this business for a couple years or decades, it's going to happen. The larger your catalog of work, the more probability you're going to see something come back. And it may not be your fault. It may not be the craftsmanship at all that failed, but due to repeated stress cycles, the durability and longevity of the products by, just design will fail. And so it's not so much what we do to repair them, but how we take care of our customers during the process that's important. We want to make sure that we stand behind our product and let folks know that we're going to be here for the long run to support them, and that's why they've supported us. So today, we're going to take a look at a dropout replacement. This is fairly common. I get a lot of email questions about this, so I thought it'd be nice to put it out in video in a step-by-step guide. This is a cantilever dropout paired up with a relatively soft stay. In this case, it's a Paragon slider. Mated up with a Columbus Zona stays. And after 8 to 12 years, somewhere in there, you're going to see stress accumulate in the non-drive side chain stay and seat stay, and often the tubing will fail distal to the dropout end. And so what's going to be required is that we cut that dropout out, replace a portion of the stay and the dropout, or take off the rear end. And so when it comes down to repairs, it's balancing your time and expense with the needs of the customer. So, should be pretty cool. We're going to walk through the entire process, look at how I repaired this piece, and I've done so before on other models as well, and we'll take it all the way through paint. So, I'm pretty excited about it. I enjoy sharing knowledge with you, and I hope you get something out of it too. So let's go. Alright, so here's our culprit. It's a Paragon slider that's cantilevered out. You can see the cracks in the tubing. Basically cut it off the frame, and then I fixtured the dropout into the vise on the vertical mill and ran an end mill down. And what we're doing is removing all of the old tubing and all of the old silver that was used to put it in place. Once that's all cleaned off, I start working on making extension inserts. So basically we took solid stock and I'm turning it down to fit the inside diameter of the tube, and then cutting the outside so it matches the outside diameter and taper of the stay that it's going to mate up with. I then relieve it internally to about 120th thousandths wall, and then hit it with an end mill to match the finish towards the dropout. And there you see the pair of pieces together. When I fit them up on the frame, we want to make sure that everything fits nice and snug, and that there's no stress, meaning that it wants to bend one way or the other. Once I'm totally happy with the fit up, we'll fixture it into the frame fixture and then weld up the dropout ends. And then flip it up, and I'm going to run some 56% silver into the stays, making sure I have nice deep penetration. Have a couple bullet welds as well to ensure that it comes out, and there you see the product. Then it's off to the paint booth. In this case, we're matching up this pine needle finish on this candy camouflage. I've sanded the frame dent transition area down really well so I can start to build up and match, and we have a pretty good meet up there. Looks pretty seamless. Once I have all my color on and I have a seamless transition, then we head to clear. And wanted to make sure that I knock the frame down good, clean it up real good with some degreaser before I clear over the whole thing to give us a uniform finish. And here's our final result. We got a candy camouflage with a little bit of prismatique in it. And you can see the rear end where we had to match up to our new dropout extensions is seamless and should look just as good as factory new. So there we have it. All fixed up and ready to go back to the customer. Just a couple of details to go over with you before we finish up. With repairs, my policy is this. If it's a problem with my craftsmanship, something that I was obviously doing wrong, or the issue was caused by my work, then I cover it in whole. No cost to the customer. For something like tubing failures, if it occurs within the first year, then I'll cover the cost and I'll deal with the manufacturer on trying to get that piece replaced. That's on me. However, for a repair like this, where this has been out 8 to 12 years, something like that, then you know what, that's to be expected. Everything has a fatigue life, everything will fail. But if we want to repair it and get it back out on the trail, then there needs to be some assumption of accountability on the customer's financial behalf as well. So for items like this, I charge for the materials used plus shop rate per hour. So typically around $70 per hour. And that's not from the time I start on the repair until I finish, but the time it's actually spent working with the project. Emails and phone calls and running to get supplies, different things like that, that all kind of happens. And I'm not going to ask the customer to assume that cost. But when I'm physically working on the project, all that time is accounted for, all that time is billed at the shop rate, because if they want me to be here in 10 years to repair their frame when something like this happens, I need to be able to keep the lights on. So it's only fair to ask for frame failures or component failures that are not a result of your error. Make sure that you're compensated. That way, when the time comes to support your client down the road, you'll still be around to do it. Thanks for stopping in. I hope this was enlightening and may help you sometime in the future with the repair that you have to do. Take care.